Today on Destination Polaris, we cruise out to California and take a trip back to the 50s. We're off to Pismo Beach to hang with the guys from Rugged Radios as they build one killer hot rod. Destination Polaris starts right now.
Destination Polaris is presented by Rugged Radios, the authority in communications.
Welcome to Destination Polaris and Project X. We are in historic Pismo Beach, California. When it comes to iconic builds, no one is better than Rugged. Greg, good to see you again, man.
Good to see you too, Jared.
How are you?
Real good.
Excellent. So we're back. Always good to be here in Pismo Beach. What's the game plan this time?
We are going to take this brand new Polaris Turbo and turn it into an iconic hot rod.
This is going to be a hot rod?
It is.
Oh my gosh, you guys got a lot of work to do.
We have a lot of work to do, but let's go. For this time, Project X, we had to elevate the bar. So what better than the most iconic hot rod ever? The 32 Ford 5-window coupe from American Graffiti. I think I went a little crazy on this one. It's the 5-inch chop, so it's low, it's sleek, it's cool. It's the iconic yellow. Every detail about this thing, I wanted it error correct. Those smoothie steel wheels on it. We even looked at the interior and wanted the same patterns as the original movie car. The first build that we did with you guys was the flat fender Willys, the Rugged General. That build was based off of a Polaris General that we turned into a 1941 flat fender Willys Jeep. We did some cool grenade shifter, ammo cans, just you name it, we tried to put those details into the build. What started all the builds, I wanted to do something different. I decided on the Baja Razor. So we finished that build. Then I moved on to the Myers-Manx Dune Buggy. I wanted to build the coolest beach buggy you've ever seen, and we did it. 4-wheel drive, big horsepower, beach buggy, it's incredible. We do these show cars, but they're not just for show. Our General has a ton of time on it. The Baja we take out, the beach buggy. They've been everywhere from Moab to Idaho dunes to the beach. They have been everywhere and done everything. And you know what? They're gonna get some scratches. They're gonna get some dings. We built these things to go out and ride. Every build that we do, it means something to me. It's an iconic vehicle, something from my childhood. That's why I love building these things, because it brings me back to when I started as a kid in off-road. We got a 2018 Polaris 1000 Turbo. It's got everything all in one. It's got suspension, incredible handling right out of the box. We've got 4-wheel drive. The new turbos, they have power. This car isn't only gonna look good, it's gonna be an incredible performer in the dunes, in the rocks, in the hills, you name it, it can do anything. The builder for our projects is NV Fab Nick Valentine.
Make your move.
You talk about masterpiece in metal. This guy can literally do it all. He's creative. He's not just a master welder fabricator. He's just a master at creative design. I bring him the concept of the car, and you know what? He puts my dream into reality.
We're gonna finish tearing apart the Razor, and when we come back, we're gonna get started on building a hot rod. You're watching Destination Polaris.
Make your move. Project X is sponsored by PRP. Seats, harnesses, and storage for your UTV. PRP, built for off-road. Rugged Radios, the authority in communications. KMC Wheels, precision for chaos. And by Brimstone, camp, ride, and kick back at Brimstone.
Welcome back to Destination Polaris. Our Razor's gotten a little bit of an overhaul, and now it's time to put it back together. Let's start with suspension and these beautiful chrome A-arms.
It's a Shannon Campbell's heavy-duty high clearance setup. It's heavier wall tubing. It's all chrome moly. It's all 4130. The lower arms have a higher bend in them, so they clear rocks and obstacles on the course. There's a ton of chrome on this thing. All the suspension's chrome, sway bar, steering, everything we could possibly send out to get chromed and is on display. Yeah, it's a lot trickier to work with for assembly and building. Every little scratch and blem in the metal shows very bad after the process of chroming it. Be a lot more delicate with everything. Yeah, it's a lot more time and a lot more fine sanding at the end. And now starting the back end to get the same treatment back there. The trims are way different aesthetic-wise than the stock ones. They're heavy wall chromoly tubing with an aluminum insert. They're re-valved and re-sprung Walker Evans. And then the lower radius arms have the same thing as the front. They're thin around, so for more clearance, and the upper radius rods are aluminum.
So while the guys are working on the suspension, we brought in Rocky from Boondocker, and Rocky, we're gonna add some oomph to this Razor, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We have a bigger turbo. The factory has done a great job with supplying us with a pile of horsepower. They've really tapped out the factory's turbo that's on there, so we're bringing a bigger turbo so we can turn it up more.
How much more are we gonna?
We can expect to see a real 40 to 50 horsepower gain.
Wow, and here we're in Pismo Beach and the dunes are right here. Is that where it's really gonna make a difference in the dunes?
It makes a huge difference in the dunes. We're from Idaho, the really big sand dunes, and the XPT is great around there and you can ride all the big dunes, but with this much power, you can ride all the big dunes. They're perfectly accessible. The beauty about this Dominator turbo is that it bolts directly in place of the stock turbo. So it fits externally, it's just like the stock turbo. Boondocker builds high performance aftermarket parts for power sports industry. Greg's just awesome to work with. He's super high energy. Met him a few years ago. I was like, is this guy for real? He's so high energy, he's so nice. I'm like, what do you really want? But he was just a great guy to work with.
Greg, I have to tell you, this is probably the shiniest set of A-arms I've ever seen on a build so far.
Absolutely. You know what? For this build, we had to go with chrome.
It's beautiful, man.
This is amazing. The chrome shop that did this, the polishing and the detail they put is just unbelievable.
Now that the suspension is on, we're actually going to put the body on right now.
Oh, I can't wait. Grassini's Automotive Painting. You know what? They're just down the street. I had a tall task for them. We had to have the iconic yellow. The Milner Special was this bright yellow. It's unbelievable. But you know what? It's a fiberglass mold. There was a lot of work to do. They were sanding down, they were filling, they were getting it right. I want this thing to be beautiful, but it still is an off-road vehicle. So how perfect does it need to be? Well, Grassini's, they are a master in paint and bodywork. They made this thing show quality incredible.
Are you nervous?
I am a little nervous.
You look nervous.
Okay, you guys got it?
Not heavy, just awkward, right?
All right, so the suspension is on. We've beefed up the turbo. We've got this amazing body kit. And next, we're gonna put an engine right here in the front. You're watching Destination Polaris.
Destination Polaris is sponsored by the Polaris Visa Card. Power your passion. Earn Polaris cash on your everyday purchases. B&W Trailer Hitches, towing adventure. And by Aluma Trailers, the best aluminum trailers available.
Welcome back to Destination Polaris. We're gonna do something now we have never done on a Project X build. We're gonna put an engine right in the front of this RZR. We're gonna put an engine in the front here. Is that right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
What kind of engine are we talking?
350 cubic inch Chevy small block.
That needs to go here,
Yeah, right here.
but we have a engine, a turbo.
One back there too.
So we're gonna have
Those.
two.
Here and there.
I'm confused.
I know, me too.
Nick called me up one day as we were working on this build, and he says, I have a crazy idea. I want you to come over and check something out. I walk over, I walk in the shop, and I'm like, there's a V8 motor sitting in the front of this thing.
So you have to go a hand under here at some point. You got that?
Well, he got a V8 foam engine block, and he turned it into the gas tank.
Just like that.
Told you,
Who
brother.
knew dropping an engine would be so easy?
It's pretty darn easy if you ask me.
Way lighter than I thought, too.
He wanted the carburetors and the manifold top. We have 4 carburetors on it. We even have chrome headers on the thing.
You ready for the last piece?
Bring my chrome tuba up here, please.
Bring your chrome tuba right over. Dude, this is quite something.
It's a shiny little engine.
This is a shiny little engine. Greg, the second engine is now in, and it's awesome, man.
This isn't a real engine. This is a 350 cubic inch fuel tank.
Prove it.
There's a fuel cap, carburetor fuel cap.
Are you kidding me?
No.
So you got the gas goes in here.
Gas goes in here. This is a fuel tank.
So you put a second engine in here just to make it look like the original?
Absolutely, because the 32 Ford 5-window coupe had a V8 motor in the front. So when you're 30 feet away, you're looking at this thing saying, man, that is the coolest hot rod ever. But guess what? We got a little surprise when you walk up.
All right, you win. You win. You got 2-1 engine in your vehicle. Greg, if there was one thing that I knew about this build before I even saw anything, is that it was gonna have KC lights. Rugged builds don't come without it.
I love KC highlights. They hooked us up with the Gravity Pro 6 light bar. That's amazing. We even have the old school KC rally lights. Yeah. And like you said, I wouldn't have a car without KC highlights.
No doubt. We got this beautiful dash here with all sorts of cool stuff on it.
Hey, the 32 dash worked perfect. S-Pod hooked us up with a full control module to control all of our lighting. The stock Polaris speedometer and everything fit perfect.
Yes.
Then we move on to rugged radios, of course. RRP 660 plus intercom, Bluetooth, amazing. 25-watt waterproof radio. That thing gives us tons of transmit distance. I called my friend Aaron over at PRP and I said, I gotta take your seat, modify the frame, because we're gonna build the coolest bench seat ever. I sent him the pictures and wow, did he make a cool seat.
Ready for some doors, Nick?
That I am. It's like a car on a razor.
Yeah.
From front to back, this car had to be correct. 40 Ford taillights. Even the shifter is a little piston. And the old school graphic, it's just cool, it's retro, it's rugged garage. That just makes the car right there.
All right, Greg, build is done. Looks amazing. You want to fire it up, see how it sounds?
200 horsepower, 20 pounds of boost, we're ready to rock.
Awesome. Time to take it for a spin. We're heading to the dunes. You're watching Destination Polaris.
Destination Polaris is sponsored by Super ATV, your trusted source for high-quality parts and accessories. Kicker and SSB Works. Go wherever your music takes you. And by PRP. Seats, harnesses, and storage for your UTV. PRP, built for off-road.
Welcome back to DP. You know, when Rugged does a build, they want to show it to everyone.
We do, and it all started with this little model. I walk by this thing every day, and I said, this is what we're building.
Ready to show it off?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
Hey everybody, this is our version of the American Graffiti 32 Ford 5-window coupe. Thanks to NV Fab that built this thing is absolutely amazing. Come on over and check it out. I love the fact that when people see my builds, they walk up and they wonder.
That is incredible.
They're not quite sure. They've got to ask questions. Sometimes it'll be a few minutes of walking around the car just to figure out what it is. And you see the look on their face, they're freaking out because they can't believe what we just accomplished. I almost don't even have the words right now. Seeing this thing on the sand, just cruising the beach with it, it sets you back into a time and a place when hot rodding was just at its peak, and this was the coolest car on the planet. This body is to scale of the real 32 Ford 5-window coupe from American Graffiti. It's got the same chop, the same chopped grille. Everything about it is just like the car in the movie, but XL. Big power, big suspension, so we just added even more cool factor. The guys from Boondocker upgraded the turbo, gave it 20 pounds of boost. Now we're putting out 200 horsepower. We took the Shannon Campbell rough stuff suspension, we chromed it out, then we adapted some Walker Evans shocks. KC highlights, absolutely essential for old school cool. It's got a fully finished interior. S-Pods hooked us up with a control module to control all the lighting. Allied Wheel, Raceline Wheels hooked us up with the chrome smoothies. PRP, they created an error-correct seat for this build. Wow, it's amazing. The yellow, it just pops. I can't believe the finished product. Nick with NV Fab did an absolutely amazing job taking my dream and making it a reality. And now I've got the rugged 32 that is absolutely off the hook. We got the coolest hot rod in the middle of the sand dunes.